The project came about because we were aware that there are some gaps in services that we provide patients, and also we wanted to really concentrate and look at patient concerns and how we could improve their experience on their life after treatment with head and neck cancer. We really needed to try and involve carers in this as well, because their needs often get neglected, and we wanted to create an opportunity where patients could learn from each other and begin to self-manage their own condition. This is more and more important nowadays, as many more people are living with and beyond cancer for many, many years after treatment. Problems can crop up at any point. So we really wanted to try and make sure that we could look after all our patients at whatever stage they are in the journey post head and neck cancer treatment.
I didn't know what to expect the first time I came, I must admit. But it was very informal, everybody was friendly. Just a nice chat, really. Like a social chat.
Well, I've come to the group primarily because, having gone through the treatment and coming out the other side, I thought it might be advantageous if someone post-treatment could give their input, maybe help then with helping other people who are just starting the treatment.
My speech therapist told me about the group sessions, and she suggested it. I mulled it over and thought, well, what have I got to lose? So I came along, and I'm glad I did.
I decided to get involved with the group because I'm just almost a year out now of having suffered throat cancer, base of tongue, tonsil area. And I thought I could benefit from other people's experiences that are probably further along the journey, and people could benefit from mine.
I think I was curious because, you know, I'd had my treatment, I'd had my feelings, and, you know, I'm now into my third week of coming, and what I've learned has really been invaluable and made me feel a lot better in myself.
I think for me it was quite simply the ability to talk to other people about what we had gone through.
I've met a few different people. They've all got cancer the same as I have, head and neck. They're all at different stages, and you know, the fact that you can share your problems and also from the professionals that are there, you know, how we can deal with it, well, I've just found it invaluable.
The patients were asked to talk a little bit about their own experience, and they were asked to share ideas about things that had helped them. And it was important for them to believe that they are the experts in their own condition.
Well, what I get out of this is that I think that this group probably won't be helping me as I'm well along the way, but hopefully the problems that I went through can be alleviated for the newcomers by sorting out an agenda that we can work through.
So far it's been really interesting to hear issues to do with eating, swallowing, normal everyday things that you go through from the side effects of the treatment.
The different people who've come in to talk in the sessions, we've had the physiotherapist, the occupational therapist, we've had Mary the oncology nurse, we've had the speech and language therapists. There's been some very useful information being shared, particularly about things to eat and drink and the ways to prepare certain drinks, certain foods that make it easier.
Patients found it really useful to take notes during the session, and they were sharing ideas of alternative foods. So one gentleman came up with an idea that chicken thighs were much more moist and easy to swallow than other parts of the chicken, for example.
We've had people talking, for instance, about different swallowing exercises. We've had the psychologist in talking about certain stress issues that might be affected with diagnosis and treatment.
The main thing I've seen from what the patients and carers are bringing on is just how willing they are to engage with each other, share their stories, how they want to pass on their experiences to other patients as well. I think one of the things that patients got out of today with the stress and stress management is just sharing. Everybody can relate to something that causes stress in their life, and whether that be cancer, the treatment, their identity now. Everybody can engage, share stories again, and that tends to bring the group together and realise that people aren't alone on their journey.
Carers can benefit from this kind of group because they get support from other carers, and they can listen to all the tips and tricks and find some comfort and some reassurance that what they're experiencing is normal for this stage often.
Well, I found it very beneficial coming to the group because hearing how other people have coped with the problems, and it's made me realise that Tony's done really well as he's progressed through his time from his treatment, and I think it helps people to get out of the house and come to the sessions and socialise.
As far as I'm aware, what we're trying to do here at the moment is fairly new. In particular, the marketplace session, where we're trying to bring services together from the voluntary sector, from health, from charities. We're trying to bring everyone together into the same place. We really want to try and provide joined up care for the patients, where they have immediate access to all the services that they need.
Well, the marketplace, as I understand it, is a place where all the resources are in one place. Now that would be a fantastic thing, because if you can focus in just one area, you can go there and access the things that you would need.
The marketplace is where we're going to meet all the professionals. So if there is anything, that I'm not sure about, or if I've got any queries, that's where I should be able to find it out.
The patients can access the information in a quick and easy way, and it's a nice informal forum for them to do that.
Having the professionals together in one place has been really useful, because that way we're learning off each other about the services that are available, and that sometimes, and from feedback from the patients, can be one of the biggest hurdles, is that everybody's so busy doing their job that they don't necessarily know what lots of other services are out there to be able to signpost to. So having something like this for professionals allows everybody to get together, share where they fit into the jigsaw, so it improves professionals' knowledge as well as being able to then pass on that knowledge to patients.
When it comes to the marketplace, I'm looking into the future and thinking, it sounds quite a strange concept, but what the hell, if we've got all the people there who are actually involved in delivering care in all the forms, advice right through to therapy and whatever, then it can't be a bad thing. And again, what have you got to lose? I'll go along with an open mind and find out what's on offer and what's of use to me.
I think the marketplace is a really good idea, and especially if people can spread more awareness in this last week to get other people involved, or to let them know that it really is only an informal kind of thing. It's nothing clinical or another appointment as such.
It's really important for us to listen to carers and patients' opinions in planning a new service delivery model. We want to know what they find helpful and what they want.
I'd say that it's beneficial to come and speak to people, the professionals that know what they're talking about, and don't be afraid to ask the question, even though you might feel afraid, think, oh, is it a silly question? It isn't, because it's your problem.
I think the project so far has been really good. It's been addressed as a pilot to see what we learn from, but we're not saying this is it and we're going to force it to work. It's a pilot, we learn from it, and then we can change it again in the future and in the future until it settles around what people would like. One of the difficult things might be that different people are going to want different things from it. So do we go for something quite generic and that captures everybody, but then maybe doesn't give anybody what they're really looking for? Or do we go for something quite specific, which is good for a particular group of patients, but then maybe we're missing, or we're not providing a service to others?
I think it's actually imperative to involve patients in that process, because this is where the experience comes from. We rely on the professionals for the medical treatment and advice, but it's the patients that have had the experience of dealing with it.
Well, I think I would advise other people to come along, because the more people you speak to, and by that I think probably more importantly the people who've gone through it, who go through their experiences, you can then make sense of your own experiences and what's happened to you, and have an idea of what to do about it if you're having problems.
The tips and tricks are make sure that you read all the information that you're given and ask the questions that are relevant to yourself.
It's an opportunity for people to share, and I've found it to be really positive, and I think anybody who's in that situation, okay, it might not be some people's cup of tea, that might be not what they like, but I think for the bulk of people, the ability to just share information in a relaxed, informal area is a good thing, and they really ought to give it a try before they knock it.
Well, what I've picked up in 3 weeks, it's just been right for me, you know. I've shared my problems, listened to other people's problems, we've swapped ideas on food and how to do it, and I can't fault it.
I think that the patient value in the projects has been huge. So we're seeing that patients are willing to come to something like this to begin with, to feed back to their experiences and what they would have wanted. And then we're seeing, even with the pilot project now, a group of patients that seems to be one of their primary drives as well, is to give something back, share their stories. And they seem to be willing, if we were to run something again, to work with a new cohort of patients, so that they're equipped with the things that go well, the things that don't go well, the things little tips and tricks that really they'd like to pass on.
The feedback has been absolutely fantastic. Each session has evaluated really well, and patients are beginning to talk to each other about this service, and they're beginning to spread the word and beginning to share the benefits of what they've experienced.